going to learn Andantino from Album for Young People Volume 1 by Aram Khatchaturian. This is a very pretty song, very sad. It has 3 flats, A flat, B flat, and E flat. You'll notice the left hand stays mostly in the middle of the keyboard and has a lot of repeated chords that will change slightly with just a little bit difference, a whole step or a half step difference in the next measure. We're going to learn the left hand first because we start with the left hand. The pedal should be used throughout the entire song, and we'll probably give you hints as to where you might want to clear the pedal, to lift it and then put it back down to clear the echoes. So we will start with the left hand. The left hand will play middle C and E flat. And it suggests using your 2 and your 4 finger, but you could also use 1 and 3, which is actually kind of what I prefer to do. And this is quarter notes. You will notice that all of them are tied together in the measure, but it has a detached marking on it, which means they do want a little bit of a space in between each repeated quarter note chord. So it'll sound like this. And it does 4 times in each measure. It's going to go again for the second measure, same chord. Now here's the third measure. We're going to scooch our 1 and 3 fingers down 1. The 3 finger will play a B, and the thumb will play a D. And it's the same quarter note chords. 4 times. Then we go to the second line and the 4th measure. The left hand scoots down just a half step. So our left hand will be playing B flat. I use my 3 finger on the B flat and the thumb on the D flat. B flat and D flat. 4 times, same quarter note chords. Down another half step. 3 finger will be playing A and the thumb will be playing middle C. Then another half step down. 3 finger playing A flat and the thumb playing B flat. You may notice it's a little confusing because, well, it's C flat actually. You may notice it's a little confusing. So it's A flat and C flat. Go down again, 3 finger playing G, thumb playing B flat. Then, in the beginning of the third line, we have 2 different chords in the same measure. We'll play 2 of each, still quarter note chords. Our 3 finger will be playing G flat, and our thumb will be playing B flat. 2 of those. We'll scooch down half a step with both fingers. 3 finger will be playing F, thumb will be playing A. 2 of those. And then we'll be playing this in the second measure of the third line. E flat on the bottom and G on the top. You can use your 2 and 4 sometimes for these if that works for you. 4 of those. Now we're going to hop back up for a while. We're going to have our 3 finger playing D flat, and then our thumb playing F. 4 of those. Scooch down a step, and 3 finger playing C, and the thumb playing E. Lots of accidental sharps or flats in here. You'll notice the key signature, not necessarily that much help because they throw in so many extras. You just have to pay attention. Then the 4th line, we're going to scooch down another step. Our 3 finger will be playing a C flat, and our thumb will be playing E flat. 4 of those. going to go to B flat with our 3 finger and thumb on D, 4 of those. Then we're going to widen, and we're not going to be playing a third anymore. We're going to have A on the bottom, and we're going to have E flat on the top. Then A flat with our 4 finger and D with our thumb, 4 of those. Now we're going to have, this is the beginning of the second page, or of the 5th line. We're going to play 4 different chords in this measure. The first is going to be another of the A flat and D chords, quarter note. And then we'll play A flat on the bottom, probably with 3 finger, and then middle C with the thumb. Then we'll play G flat on the bottom, B flat with our 2 finger, and then we'll play F and A, probably with the 3 and the thumb. So it walks down like this. And then, second measure of the line, we're going to play E flat with the 4 finger probably, and G with the 2 finger. 4 of those. Now, this is the third measure of the 5th line. And the hand is actually going to be playing something else for a while. So we have a little rhythm here, and it's underpinned by the either 5 finger or 4 finger, whichever you prefer, playing E flat, and there's 2 half notes, E flat, that covers the entire measure. So you're always holding an E flat except when you play it the second time for the second half note. But you're also going to add a C above middle C on the top with your thumb. So you start with the E flat, and after an 8th rest, you add the thumb playing C, a quarter note followed by an 8th note. Then the E flat again, and after an 8th rest, again the C quarter note and the C 8th note. Now we're going to do the same rhythm in the next measure, but we're going to have D on the bottom. Those are the half notes that we play on the bottom. Then we're going to follow those by the quarter note, 8th note of a B this time. So all together, those 2 measures sound like this. Now on the 6th line, we're going to continue that pattern. The half notes on the bottom will be D flat, followed by B flat for the quarter note 8th. And I just keep scooching my hand down. I like to use 5 and 1. You can use 4 and 1 as well. Then we're going to scooch down again for the second measure of the 6th line. We're going to have C on the bottom for the half notes, followed by A for the quarter note, 8th notes. Scooch down to C flat on the bottom, and then A flat on the top. Then we'll have B flat on the bottom and G on the top. A on the bottom with F sharp on the top, but we only do it once, and then in the second half of the measure we'll do A flat on the bottom and F on the top. And then the last measure, we have G on the bottom, E on the top, we just do it once. Oh, E flat on the top. G on the bottom, E flat on the top, just do it once. Then there's rests for the rest of the measure for the left hand. Now, the very last line, we go back to some chords. but it's in the pattern that we've just been doing with the top notes. It'll be an eighth rest, followed by a quarter note chord and an eighth note chord. And we'll do it twice in a measure. So the first measure of the last line has an eighth rest and it's followed by you can use your 2 and 1, or you can use 3 and 2, whichever you prefer. I like 2 and 1. 2 finger on A flat, thumb on B flat, and it'll be this pattern. Rest, rest, and the next one is a G on the bottom, B flat on the top, same pattern. So here's the whole measure together. Rest, rest. Continue the same pattern. Well, in the next measure, it'll be G flat on the bottom and B flat on the top. Rest, rest, and then F on the bottom, A on the top. Then the third measure of the line, rest, and then E flat on the bottom, G on the top. Rest, then we have D flat on the bottom and F on the top. And I just keep scooching my 1 and 3 finger down, except for, well, you can use a 2 and 4 in there, here and there, whichever feels appropriate to you. Then the very last measure has a whole note chord, C, middle C on the bottom, and G on the top. Now I want to play that whole last line for the left hand. Sounds like this. Rest, 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 and the final chord. And that's the left hand for Andantino.